Welcome to Cruise News Central with Joseph.
Welcome to Cruise News Central. We get you the cruise news stories like no one else can. My name is Joseph. Let's roll the episode. It has been a crazy week in cruise news. I mean, did you hear about the $1 million yacht that crashed into the $1 billion cruise ship? That's not a joke. What was he thinking? We'll get to that later, but first, something wasn't smelling quite right on the MSC Seashore cruise ship. Let's roll the story. A fire aboard the MSC Seashore cruise ship had cruise passengers concerned, confused, and looking for answers. Passengers reported elevators being shut down, dining rooms being closed, and areas smelling like smoke. On social media, one passenger commented, "I was standing right under the smokestack when there were two huge bangs, followed by lots of sizzling, then lots of smoke that smelled exactly like an electrical fire." Website Cruise Hive reached out to MSC and has now confirmed that on the evening of December 8th, a small electrical fire was reported in the emergency generator room on an upper deck of the ship and was swiftly extinguished, with no injuries reported, and that MSC did not anticipate any changes to the remaining itinerary or upcoming sailings. It seems that the MSC crew rose to the occasion by handling the situation quickly and kept everyone on board safe. A happy ending to a potentially disastrous situation. Okay, so did you guys hear the big story out of Norwegian Cruise Line this week? It's bad news for a ton of Norwegian future cruise passengers, and it's not the first time the cruise line has done similar questionable moves like this in the past. Let's roll the story. In an unexpected move, Norwegian Cruise Line is abruptly canceling 35 more cruises for the 2025 and 2026 season. This is in addition to canceling 38 cruises less than a month ago. The ships affected on the current list of cancellations include the Bliss, the Breakaway, the Encore, and the Joy. That's right, all that planning, getting time off of work, and scheduling will have to be completely redone for everyone that had booked one of these cruises. Possibly one of the reasons Norwegian is willing to trouble this many of their customers is that despite the major inconvenience to passengers of all these cancellations, Norwegian Cruise Line is bringing in some big profits this year. The cruise line's Q3 profits increased by 37%, improving its financial outlook for 2024. It should be noted that all of the canceled cruise passengers did receive a full refund and a 10% coupon towards a future cruise. Did Norwegian do enough for these majorly inconvenienced passengers? Imagine this. You're a very wealthy person, and you've planned a pleasant day sailing around Nassau, Bahamas on your really expensive yacht. You get out there, everything's going great, until all of a sudden, you find yourself crashing into a $1.2 billion cruise ship, Allure of the Seas. Believe it or not, that actually happened. We have that story coming up in a minute, but another cruise story this week leaves you wondering, if your cruise ship never leaves the port, is it still considered a cruise? Let's roll the story. What would you do if your cruise ship never left port? The MSC cruise ship Bellissima was boarded and scheduled to leave port in Okinawa, Japan on December 6th, but passengers woke up the next morning to a familiar view as the cruise ship had never left. Engine and navigation issues are what started the delays, but passengers were still hoping to salvage some of the cruise vacation. As it turns out, this sailing just wasn't to be, as the possibility of severe weather entered the picture. For the passengers aboard the MSC Bellissima, this particular sailing turned out to be a cruise to nowhere. Although Japanese passengers have been able to disembark, local media reports approximately 880 Taiwanese guests have had to remain aboard the ship. MSC Cruises is working with Japanese authorities to allow guests to go ashore on December 9th. During the delay, passengers were allowed access to most of the ship's amenities like bars, restaurants, and entertainment. A full refund is being given to all passengers as well as extra travel compensation. Allure of the Seas is the 6th largest cruise ship in the world right now, and it's a really sought-after ship to sail on. But in the last couple of weeks, you've got to wonder what's going on, as getting crashed into by a yacht is only one of the strange things that's happened to it. Things got a little sloshy in the hallways on Allure just a few days ago. Let's roll the story. Something's not quite right on Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas. A viral TikTok video shows some major flooding in a passenger hallway. Water is running down the walls and coming from the ceiling. There is no official explanation for what exactly happened in the video, but from the groans and nervous laughs and shocked sounds coming from the video's audio, this was definitely an unpleasant surprise to the guests affected. Have you ever had something like this happen on a cruise? I wonder what the procedure is for when you crash your yacht into a giant cruise ship. Do you trade insurance cards like it was a car accident, or do you use an excuse like, hey, I saw a dolphin, I was just trying to avoid a dolphin in my path? In the next video, we do see the police show up and investigate the damage to the cruise ship. Let's find out just what happened. Let's roll the story. A yacht has crashed into a cruise ship in Nassau, Bahamas, leaving people flabbergasted, wondering how on earth the yacht didn't see that there was a cruise ship in front of them.
Oh! Damn! We're going down!
It is speculated that the yacht must have lost power and drifted into the side of Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas, although others have speculated that possibly drugs or alcohol may have been involved, as they so often are in things like car crashes. In the video, you can see a man on the deck of the yacht frantically running around as it crashes into the side of Allure of the Seas. Onlookers from the cruise ship are heard shouting, "You just got fired!" to the man, as well as other unhelpful things.
You just got fired!
Another video shows the police boat pull up where the collision happened and seems to investigate the damage to the cruise ship. Fortunately, no injuries are being reported on either of the vessels, and apparently Allure of the Seas must not have incurred significant damage, as it has resumed its cruise schedule with only a minor delay. As for the yacht, the damage does seem more severe, as you can see parts of the boat being torn off as it scrapes against the giant cruise ship. A little earlier this week, a whole lot of people in the cruise industry and the tourism industry in Mexico breathed a huge sigh of relief. Their problems aren't necessarily over, but they are at least postponed for a while. Let's roll the story. In response to some serious outrage and pushback by cruise line CEOs and the tourism industry, Mexico has postponed the very controversial $42 per cruise passenger port tax that was passed in the last couple of weeks. The postponement will give the players involved time to negotiate the port tax and the details around it. The $42 tax is a staggering 213% increase over the average cost of a Caribbean port. If implemented, Mexico ports would expect to see a progressive drop in arrivals, which would significantly impact employment for taxi drivers, tour guides, artisans, waiters, craft store owners, pharmacies, and more. Experts doubt that the Mexican port could remain competitive at that rate, meaning disaster for thousands of families that rely on consistent cruise ship tourism. But with this postponement, there is hope that an agreement can be reached that will avoid any disastrous consequences. Hey guys, if you like this cruise news episode, check out this other one that's on the screen somewhere here. I'm sure that you'll love it just as much. That is it for Cruise News Central today on December 14th in the year of our Lord 2024. Always remember, no matter what destination you choose, no matter what cruise line you choose, adventure awaits.